fear in my heart that I was on the precipice of a very serious heart issue, and it scared me. And that began the process of me, once again, reconfiguring my life. I became amazed at how resilient the human body is, because for so many years I had beaten myself up with drugs and alcohol and fast food and workaholism, and, you name it. And I realized that if my body could bounce back this quickly from all the terrible treatment that I've given it for most of my life, like, what is it really capable of? To be able to let go of what just happened and what is in your near future and focus on what is happening right now. And the more you can do that, then all of that fear kind of evaporates. Your thinking mind is that pesky guy on your shoulder who's trying to talk you out of everything. And so the trick becomes learning how to tap into a higher state of awareness so that you can be mindful and you can be present. And that's the place you want to be in as an athlete, because that's when you're completely centered and focused. For somebody who's beginning to meditate, 5 minutes might seem like an eternity. And that's what I experienced during this training. Like, I could get to a place where a 7-hour ride didn't feel like that long. And that's really a mental practice.
Out of the 5, spinach is #1 against breast cancer. Remember, the farther down, the better it is at slowing down these cancer cells. #1 against brain tumors. #1 against kidney cancer. #1 against lung cancer and pediatric brain tumors. That's why we need to feed our kids spinach. #1 against pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer, and stomach cancer. Now, it's not #1 overall. There are 16 vegetables more powerful at stopping stomach cancer growth than spinach, but out of those 5 salad greens, spinach wins out across the board against every cancer type tested. Yes. Super yes. Brain tumor, just beat it. Kidney cancer is a no, close to 50%, but not quite there. But then, yes, 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 yes. So, overall, yes for beets. The majority of veggies people commonly eat have little effect. Cutting to the chase. The line at the salad place is now out the door at this point. In this study, there was one clear winner, one vegetable that completely 100% stopped cancer growth in 7 out of the 8 tumor lines. One of the most important findings of the year. #1 against breast cancer, garlic. #1 against brain tumors, garlic. #2 against kidney cancer, lung cancer, garlic. Childhood brain tumors, garlic. Pancreatic cancer, garlic. Prostate cancer, and stomach cancer, garlic. Maybe it stops the growth of healthy cells too. That wouldn't be good. They tested for that. The black bars are the cancer cells. The white bars are the normal cells. As you can see, garlic slams cancer cells, but doesn't touch normal cells. And the same thing with pretty much all the vegetables.
Probiotics. You might have heard of probiotics before. They are the healthy gut bacteria that live in your gut microbiome. And foods that are rich in probiotics tend to be fermented foods.
The use of antibiotics is associated with a disruption, a modification of the gut flora, and the restoration of this gut flora is fundamental. And particularly, the use of probiotics can restore the immunology function of our gut and the protection that the friendly microbes do in our gut. Because if we don't have the good microbes, we are susceptible to the bad microbes, like, for example, the Clostridium difficile or others. These bad microbes not only can cause infection in our intestine, but they cause inflammation because they open intestinal barrier, and the leakage of the intestinal barrier can allow the toxins and chemicals that we eat with foods to enter in our circulation, and this causes inflammation, and inflammation is associated with chronic pathologies.
In the last year, allergic disease have increased in all Western countries, and the cause of the increase would appear to be related to both environmental and changes in the Western lifestyle. To explain this phenomenon, the macroflora hypothesis has suggested that the use of antibiotics and the change in diet typical of industrialized countries have modified the intestinal microbiome and consequently the mechanism of immunological tolerance. In fact, the studies have shown that oral administration of specific live probiotic strains, as Bifidobacterium lactobacilli, may have therapeutic implication in the treatment of allergic disease, suppressing the inflammatory network induced by allergen. The use of probiotic supplementation during pregnancy and in the first month of life reduced the risk of atopic sensitization and decreased the IgE level in children. The decrease of the risk of atopies was greater only when probiotics was started during pregnancy and continued after birth.
The second part of your diet that I want to talk about is fiber. And dietary fiber acts as a food for those probiotics, enabling them to grow. And the reason you want the healthy gut bacteria to grow is because the more you have and the more diverse your bacteria is, the healthier your gut, which means you're less likely to have chronic illnesses and inflammation. And you'll find dietary fiber in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. So basically, if you're eating a vegan diet, particularly a whole foods-based vegan diet, you're going to have no problem getting enough fiber.
Great value spring water, whereas this one is great value purified drinking water. This says drinking water, but that one doesn't. So is that even supposed to be drank? Well, I drank it, so we'll see if I'm here for another review or not. With that being said, I tried it, I switched it around, I even held it up to the light. I wanted to see, well, what makes it different from this purified drinking water? I looked around for any sort of particulate matter in the beverage. I looked for any sort of fecal matter from possible animals, which might have been, swimming around in the spring. No visible or flavorful accumulations of any kind. I apologize there, the beverage caused that. So, what else can we taste? Well, the one difference between these two beverages is that this one does not have any sort of chemical type flavor, whereas this one had a very mild type of chemical taste to it, but very, very mild.